Welcome to EBTV. It is my delight to introduce someone because I think everyone with the name of Katherine is very special. So Katherine Harrell is the talk of Second Floor East, and she's going to share so much good information with us. So it is now my pleasure to introduce to you Katherine Harrell.
I'm so delighted to have you here. We're going to share information so people, including me, can find out more about you, and you can tell us about being here. So welcome, Katherine Harrell. And I think we spell our Katherine's differently, don't we?
We do.
Yeah,
Yes.
then that's how people can tell us apart,
Exactly.
right?
Yes. If they'll pay attention.
Right. When did you move to Epworth Villa?
I've been here close to a year now.
Oh, very good. Moving from where?
I moved most recently from a gated area called St. Martin's on May and Britain.
Oh, very good. So not very far.
Not very far. No.
Did you grow up in Oklahoma City?
I did not. I grew up in Shawnee.
Oh,
just
very
down
good.
the road. But, so
Was that your home?
that was my home. I actually was born in McAllister, but my family had a construction business, still does, under the same ownership.
Oh, wow.
Since actually 1800,
And has the name changed?
What is the what?
Has the name changed since?
No, it's Cowan Construction.
Wow.
C-O-W-N, that was my maiden name.
I think isn't there Cowan Construction in Tulsa?
There is. That's where the headquarters are now. They were in
Oh,
Shawnee.
well, I knew some of those people.
But it is still operated by a Link Cowan. We now have Linko Cinco, who's number 5 of the Links, from my grandfather, who was a Link, down to the current one, who is Link the 4th. But his son is Link the 5th, so it's Linko Cinco.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I don't anyway hear too many family businesses that stay.
That long, yeah, but it's a long time. It is.
Yeah, obviously they enjoy it very much.
But they did, and it was successful, and that's the big thing. in
Oh, it's
business.
very successful in
So,
Tulsa.
right,
I know that.
it
I
is.
know that. What did you do after you got out of high school?
When I got out of high school, I got married. No, not high school, college. I'm sorry. When I got out of high school, I went to OU, and when I got out of college, I got married.
And tell me about meeting your husband.
Well, I was in a sorority, and his sister, my future husband's sister, was in the same one. We had also been in the same dorm, and so, and she was just a doll. She was so much fun. And she decided that her brother and I were meant for each other. And she followed me around with his picture until I said that I would go out with him. Now, that's not saying that I was all that popular, but at the time that I was at OU was a fortunate time for young women because the men outnumbered the women about 3-to-1.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so you could have a date for breakfast, lunch, or whatever. It was not hard, and I thought there must be something wrong with this guy.
So you had to
If
keep your
she's
calendar very carefully.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how I met him. There's through his sister, and she was right. So that was kind of fun.
Was he from the area?
She and my husband, of course, were both from Ada. They grew up in Ada. And
That's a nice town.
so, they were small town people too, which, in fact, much smaller town Ada is, but it's a beautiful little town.
Tell me about what you majored in or what you studied.
I majored in sociology,
Oh.
but there is not one thing that you can do with a major in sociology.
But you got smarter.
Right, a little bit.
Yeah.
But you can, you have to have a master's at least to do
Wow.
social work or anything with that. So I really, it has been a benefit because you're exactly correct. It widens your horizons, things you didn't even know were out there. They took us on a field trip one time to go to the asylum, which was in Norman at that
Oh
time.
my word.
And that kind of thing. And you know, when you grew up in a sheltered little life in Shawnee, Oklahoma, that's kind of an eye opener.
Oh wow! Because is that hospital still there?
You know, I don't think it is. I think it. I mean, it may be in some way, but not like it was.
Right when you said it, I just had I couldn't remember if it was or not.
I don't think so, and I'm not real sure about
Yeah.
But anyway.
So you got married in Shawnee.
Oh yes, one got married in their hometowns, and
Well, right.
They don't do that anymore.
What destinations?
Right.
You just go to your destination where you started.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right. And then what did the two of you do?
What did
After you got married, you moved where?
After we got married, well, this was during and it was not a very long time, but young men had to serve 2 years compulsory military service. And my husband had done the ROTC, so he was able to go in as a second lieutenant. And we went to one of the garden spots of Texas, and that was Killeen, Texas, where
yes.
Fort Hood is. And that's where my first child was born, a girl, and her name is Charlotte. And it was a fine, you know, Jim was not crazy about military life, I'll put it that way.
That's a nice way to put it, yeah.
Yeah, so but it was an experience for both of us. And besides the birth of my daughter, there's 2 other things I remember about it. And one of them is that Elvis Presley passed through on his way to Germany.
Oh.
But I didn't get to see him. I mean, we only had one car, so Jim neglected to tell me he was even coming through. Jim was my husband, so. And that, you know, that was our first big problem in marriage.
Was it he didn't?
I mean, a chance to see Elvis in those days. He was at the height of it.
Well, sure.
His popularity. So, but anyway, and the other one was that the guys, of course, whether they were second lieutenants or not, had to wear fatigues at times. And one time when they were all in their line with their fatigues on, the captain called my husband out of the line, told him to step forward, and he said, Lieutenant Harrell, who does your laundry? And Jen said, my wife. And the lieutenant said, send them to the cleaners. The fatigues are not easy to iron. Or hook cloth. So that was what I was told.
And of course, you would never.
Well, I was very happy. I mean, I didn't insult me. I mean, you know,
So, thank
ironing is not my favorite chore. So, but
Yeah, I had a brother who was in the service, and those fatigues are horrible. Even today, they're still bad.
Oh, they're terrible. How they, you know, stood them against their skin, I'll never know. But anyway, so.
Well, Elvis and fatigues, that's pretty good that those were your 2 big disagreements.
Agreements, exactly. So,
Wow.
Well, up to date, we'd only been married a little over a year.
Oh. Okay, well, we can still put that in perspective.
Right, so then you ask then where we live. From the service, my husband was a petroleum engineer, and he worked for Phillips, and we went to Hobbs, New Mexico, which is a garden spot like the Texas Panhandle. But the people were very nice, and it was just fun. My second child, a son, was born there.
What difference in age are they?
2 years.
Okay. Oh,
approximately.
you were busy.
Yes, well, I got busier, but from Hobbs, the oil company sent Jim to Odessa, Texas, or was going to. And by this time he had been with them for 2 or 3 years, and he really did not like working for a big company. And so he just kind of walked in one day and said, "We're quitting. We're not going to Odessa from here. We're not going to spend our life in the Texas Panhandle, and we're going back to Oklahoma." So we did, and that's when we moved to Oklahoma City, and I got pregnant again and had another boy. And I told my husband, I knew that he wanted to stay anyway. I was not going to another state because every time I moved to a different state, I had a baby. So, and 3 was enough.
So you had the daughter, 2 years, the son, and how long before?
But approximately 2 years, about 18
Whoa,
months between the boys.
they were just all over the house.
They were everywhere. Well, I grew up with 3 sisters and 2 brothers.
Oh,
so
well.
that was, and I'm
Small
oldest,
crowd.
So yeah, but it was fun. But no, I was kidding. I knew we were going to stay in Oklahoma. So,
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice you had those little adventures out.
It is, and we met some people that we were lifelong friends with, really, on the way. So.
Oh, very good.
Yeah,
Hobbs, New Mexico is a lovely town.
Yeah, they are, and in the service, my friends had a daughter that was born there too. Mine was born in April, and theirs was born in August, and the 2 girls are still good friends. But they were under 2 years old, but went different ways. But they
Sure.
wound up going to camp together years later, and they're still friends. So, yeah.
So your kids grew up here in Oklahoma City?
They did. Well, and Edmond. We lived
Oh.
in Edmond for a while too. So.
I'm sure the Chamber of Commerce in Edmond doesn't appreciate me saying this, but those of us from the outside consider Edmond Oklahoma City.
That's exactly right. Well, when we lived in Edmond, it was still a small town. It was not what
Yeah.
it is now at all. So
Yeah.
it was like living in a small town, which we were used to. So that was great. Yeah.
Your 3 children, have they presented any grandchildren to you?
No.
Okay, then we'll just go right on.
Not yet, but hopefully. I only have, after these large families, I only have 2 adult grandchildren. That's all I have. It's just,
Well,
it's big.
I have 2. They're
Right.
one in college and one in high school.
Yeah, and only one of them is married, so we're still waiting for grandchildren, or I am.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that'd be
Yeah.
fun.
My husband has been gone for many years. He was killed in a plane crash when he was 32.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's life happens. But,
Well, it does, doesn't it?
It does, and I can guarantee you, there's not one single person here who hasn't had a lot to deal with at some
Yes.
point. So,
Right. But isn't it wonderful we have so many here with such varied backgrounds, and to meet these fresh thoughts and ideas,
Yeah, it is.
and to share our sorrows with,
Exactly.
as well as some of the good time laughing and everything else.
Yeah, right. So,
What was your biggest surprise about moving here? Or were you surprised? Have you been?
of course we'd come and toured, but my biggest surprise about moving here, possibly that I liked it.
Well, you sure?
Well, I mean,
We always hope.
Yeah, true. It was my choice. My condo at St. Martin's was flooded.
Oh.
But pipe broke, and then there had already been a problem with a leak in the garage, and it was so bad that we were going to have to move out for probably 6 months or so to
Oh,
get
wow.
all the things corrected and all. And I just said, you know, it's time for me to go someplace else. And so we looked and found Epworth, so that's.
Well, I'm sorry you had the water problems, but
Yeah,
we're glad you're
but
here.
It turned out, you know, I probably would have, something else would have happened, and I needed to come anyway, so. But
Very good. Do you have any holiday plans?
Thanksgiving, I'm spending with my daughter and her husband in Fort Worth.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, and Christmas will be here, so,
And isn't it going fast?
yeah, it is. I can't believe November is here, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I thank you for sharing your time with us and sharing a little bit about yourself. And
Oh, sure. I love talking about yourself.
Yeah.
So would you rather talk about?
Well, you know, I had a couple of puppies one time, and I talked to them about myself, so, you know, that always felt
That
good.
works, yeah.
Yeah, very good.
So,
Well, again, thank you from
thank you.
Catherine to Catherine.
Catherine to Catherine, right. It's been enjoyable, and we have not really known one another well, and I'm glad to spend time with you.
Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you on TV.
Okay.